The whisper beneath the waves to sea was too still for September. Elena Vance stood at the edge of Breakwater Pier, her breath misting in the early morning air, listening to the gulls. They were circling, restless, diving low over a patch of water that swirled without wind. Somewhere far below, the wreck of the Argent Dawn slept in the dark. At least, that's what the local legend said. She raised her phone, snapping a picture for her marine biology blog, but froze in the frame. Just for a moment, a pale shape moved beneath the waves. Too large for a dolphin, too smooth for a school of fish. The hairs on her arms prickled. She knew these waters well. Her father had been the Coast Guard captain here before his mysterious death 8 years ago. The night he vanished, he left only one message on her. Voicemail: "Don't trust anyone." Not yet. The tide shifted, and something metallic glinted below before vanishing into the gloom. Elena's phone buzzed. A message from a number she didn't recognize. "If you want the truth about your father, then meet at the docks." Midnight. She should have deleted it. Instead, she saved the picture, put her phone in her pocket, and stared once more at the dark. Water. Adrian Cross was trouble-wrapped in a dive suit. She knew it from the moment he climbed out of the boat at midnight, seawater streaming off his shoulders, eyes scanning her like he was taking inventory. "You, Elena?" His voice was low, steady, double quotes. "Yes, you sent the no, but I know who." Did he glance toward the empty pier? "A tie, and I know why you're here. You're looking for the Argent Dawn." She hesitated. "You're a diver?" "Salvage." He peeled off his gloves, revealing calloused hands, the kind that had known rope, steel, and danger. "I was there tonight. Saw you staring at the water, like you could hear it talking back. I saw something under the surface. Dan, you saw her." Elena blinked. The sea doesn't give up her dead easy," Adrian said. "And the Argent Dawn didn't just sink. It was sunk carrying a treasure no one's supposed to touch." The first dive 2 days later, they were on Adrian's boat, the Calypso's Folly, slicing toward the wreck's coordinates. The sonar pinged softly, revealing the jagged outline of a ship's hull. She adjusted her mask, adrenaline and fear nodding. Her stomach. "What are we looking for?" "A lockbox," Adrian said. "Steel, probably lined. It belonged to Captain Redthorn. Pirate, smuggler, murderer. Rumor says it's cursed." "Cursed," she repeated flatly. He shrugged. Supernatural mystery sells better than died of old age, but the deeper they dove, the less it felt like a joke. The wreck loomed from the darkness like a broken cathedral. And in the shadows, she saw movement, pale hands that vanished. When she turned her light, when they found the lockbox wedged in the captain's quarters, her regulator nearly slipped from her mouth. Its surface was etched with strange markings, and the water around it seemed colder. The surface box between them, only to find another boat anchored alongside the Calypso. A man in a hood leaned on the rail, smiling. He called. "I was hoping you'd do the hard work for me." "Jonah, hell. They got away, barely, but the box had been damaged." The hairline crack ran along its lid. Adrian insisted on finding someone who could help them before whoever that man was caught up. That's how they ended up at Jonah Hale's boathouse. Jonah was a broad-shouldered, ex-Navy diver with a limp and eyes like storm clouds. He listened in silence as they told the story, then leaned back in his chair. "You two don't know what you're holding," Jonah said finally. "And you sure as hell don't know what it'll cost you." Elena's frustration broke. "Then tell me why I shouldn't just walk away from all of this? My father's dead. I don't even know if the truth is worth." Jonah slammed his palm on the table. "Worth it? For words will change your life, girl. I do it anyways." She flinched as his voice filled the room, the cadence shifting from casual to something fierce. "You tired? You do it anyways. No support? You do it anyways. Scared? You do it anyways. Afraid of failure? You'll do it anyways. A fear of rejection? You'll do it anyways. You don't build a life or a mission by waiting for the perfect moment. You do it every damn day, regardless of how you feel. That's how you win. Jonah's gaze locked on hers. If you want to be great at anything, you make a choice. And with that choice comes sacrifice. Family time, comfort, safety. You think? Your worst chapter is your last. Hell no. Your worst chapter is the page before the breakthrough. But only if you keep turning pages. Elena swallowed hard. The speech wasn't just advice. It was a challenge. The betrayal the next night. They planned to open the box under Jonah's supervision. But when Elena returned from gathering supplies, both the box and Adrian were gone. Her stomach sank. She'd ignored the red flags, the secrecy, the sidelong glances when she mentioned her father's death. She found him on the pier, the box at his feet, the hooded man beside him. Adrian? Her voice cracked. He wouldn't meet her eyes. I told you I was here for a reason. Your father? He didn't just die. He left me to drown. Tonight. Finish what he started. The hooded man laughed. I collect my payment. The opening, they pried open the box. Inside lay a sphere of black glass, swirling as if filled with smoke. The air turned cold, the sea rising in sudden swells. A whisper crawled through Elena's mind. Free me! But Jonah's voice cut through the noise, the echo of his monologue. The fire in his words. Fear of failure will keep you moving, keep you alive. She lunged forward, slamming the lid shut. No? The hooded man screamed as the wind tore at him, dragging him toward the water. Adrian reached for her, and for the first time, she saw regret in his eyes before the tide swallowed him. The choice storm broke over the calm sea. The box was sealed again, chained, and locked in Jonah's safe. You could still walk away. Jonah said quietly. Elena looked out at the horizon. If I do, the wrong people will find it again. Jonah nodded. Then I guess you know what comes next? She turned, the weight of the choice settling on her shoulders. Would you risk everything? For the truth. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to act despite it and accepting the sacrifices that follow. Asterisks. The wind carried the scent of salt and rust as Elena tightened her grip on the railing. The Calypso's folly rocked gently, but the weight in her chest was anything but calm. Somewhere out there, the others would keep searching for what she'd locked away. Somewhere out there, the sea still whispered her name. She turned to Jonah, her voice low but steady. This isn't over. His eyes narrowed. Then, what's your move? Elena looked toward the horizon where the first storm clouds gathered. Would you risk everything for the truth?